Alrighty. Hey, Bill. I'm assuming it's Bill. This one's been here.
Oh,
Oh, nope, we got Cindy. I heard Cindy.
both of
You
us.
almost got yourself in
Oh.
trouble there, Mike.
I got myself in trouble.
Both of you.
Good evening, guys.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Friday night.
Friday night.
Mhm.
Where would you rather be but on, a Grow With Me event? I mean, come on.
Yeah. What else are you going to be doing?
We need
Watching
beers
TV?
and chips and stuff like that. Come on, we can make an event out of this,
We
Mike.
can make, yeah, we can have a whole thing. For sure. Well, I don't know if Tracy's showing up or not. She's been the only other one that's here consistently. Although Lorena said she was going to be here, but
Yeah. Heck.
anyway, do you want to show yours?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, we're greening up nice.
Yeah, it's greened up really nicely from yesterday. So this is blackout. We did blackout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
blackout. All
And
right.
I was telling Cindy before, because we've got a couple of arugula up there now. It was like, this is bad, but I don't recall if we've always blacked out or not. So I can't remember. But this one looks pretty good. Those look so.
Blackout will help stretch it if you need it to do that. So I guess I'll show you offer.
Do you do blackout for your kale arugula mix?
No.
No. Okay.
This is the blackout one, and that's the side that I overseeded. So you can see the
Mhm.
difference right there, that corner, this corner,
No.
this corner,
Yeah.
this corner, right there.
Yeah.
That's the reason why it's not as tall. But and this was the blackout one. But they're standing up beautifully,
Mhm.
nice and tall and strong. And still a little yellow, not green, like yours, since it was in blackout. It
Mhm.
didn't have as many days with light. So yellowish green, I guess. And then the one that was not blacked out,
So that's shorter.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, let me
Yeah.
grab both of them. See if I can do this without dropping anything.
No.
Don't get tied. We don't need ties.
So,
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh,
yeah, you hold one.
we will hold one.
Here, that's the camera. She don't trust me, guys.
I love you. I trust you.
Stop moving yours. There you go. So
Comparing your children like that. Come on.
not too bad. Not too bad
Can we
difference.
flip it around like to the pretty side?
Yeah.
Looks a bit more impactful.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But if you accidentally overseed, that's what you're gonna run into. You see, they're like smaller cotyledons too.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So, tips at this point, obviously, is just, watering the same as we watered before. If there was any issues, with dampening off or stuff, which is usually going to happen about this day, today or tomorrow. If you get any of that issues, that's when you got to start cutting it out and replacing it with fresh soil and all that and everything else so you can stop it, hopefully. Because we have had that, in the past.
Mhm.
Don't run into it too much at all anymore, with this new soil. So I think a lot of it was the soil that was the problem, not necessarily what we're doing. So
Yeah.
but
Promix
arugula-
had trouble with it.
Arugula doesn't like a lot of water, am I right?
not a ton, no. Less than, obviously pea sunflowers, you could overwater them and they'd be fine. But this would be on the other end of that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So lighter end of it all.
Got it.
Basils, arugulas,
Amaranth.
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, amaranth's probably even further on that scale.
It's water.
Yeah, it actually hates water. But yeah, so it's less water. So always underwater, never overwater, is safer.
Mhm.
To go look at it again, 12 hours if you ever do run into any issues with that. But anything else?
This one, they're still pretty heavy. Like,
Yeah, they're still heavy. Like I couldn't hold both of them. It was kind of heavy.
Mhm.
So they're still pretty heavy. So
Yeah.
again, more soil, less water needed because it's going to retain it. in
Right.
there as well with that cocoa, with the starter. It's Costa Maine
Yeah.
and the Cocoa Loco both coated.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be a light watering today, probably close to like a 1 cup water, just barely cover the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
are we watering them?
Yeah, I think.
The water? Okay.
I could do that.
Show some watering.
I'll show some watering.
Still get the hose, do the watering of it. Show you how much we water there. So you don't know if you normally blacked out? You just did this one or?
That sounds terrible. I think I usually don't black out.
Okay.
I don't think so.
And they, I don't have, I can look up what our yield is. Where's the thing? Hold on a second.
Hey, Dan. Dan's showing up.
I think normally our yield's like 4 to 5 ounces.
Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
if I was getting 4 to 5 ounces, I definitely would be blacking out.
Okay.
If I'm not blacking out, getting only 4 to 5.
yeah. Although the other week we got,
What do
6 to
you,
8.
what is your normal yield?
Now,
Mm-hmm.
10,
Okay. So I think,
8 on the low end.
okay, I think that one of the things that we learned with just starting this grow with you is that we need to put more soil in all of our trays.
Yeah.
To try to help them grow, because we have to get our yields higher. Because, you
Yeah,
know,
and you're spending an extra 20 cents on soil to go in there, but you're getting an extra 2 ounces.
right,
It well pays for itself.
it does, yeah, because we're gonna run out of space, and Bill would cut me off from going to the restaurants. We can't have that.
Nah,
Growing from the ceiling.
yeah. You'll find a place to put it and you'll get your better yields. Keep on selling.
Yeah. You heard that? Mike said, keep on selling.
yeah, that's fine.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, my. We'll have a marriage counseling session after
Yeah.
that.
I don't do that. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you to keep growing your business though, because the moment you stop growing, that's when all of a sudden you have 3 restaurants call up and cancel on you, or they close down, or something
Right.
happens.
No,
You know.
for sure. I mean, and that's why, and we don't have to go down this route now, but I mean, that's why we were saying, all right, so for the rest of this year, certainly 2025, the goal is, all right, let's get our processes down and get our yields up so we don't have to keep planting, 10 cilantro, to get what we need. We should be able to plant,
Mhm.
6 or something like that.
How many ounces a week are you selling cilantro?
Let me- Depends on the
Put
week,
you on the spot.
24 to 30,
Yeah.
30 ounces.
24 to
32.
32, something like that.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think we sell that much cilantro. I know we don't.
No, I only have one that's ordering cilantro right now, but I think one
Yeah.
of them might be ordering some again.
Hmm.
They go in waves and when they order, seasons and stuff
Right.
here,
Mhm.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're only yielding like 4 to 5 ounces.
No, we're right now, we're not even yielding that.
Oh,
Yeah, cilantro has been kicking our butt. But so the two thing,
Better now.
it's better now with the not
Vermiculite.
stacking them. So
Oh.
it's 2 stack, and then what were you?
Vermiculite.
vermiculite on top.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're doing soil, we're getting a
Mhm.
whole, we still got a little bit of dampening off with the vermiculite, but a lot more with the soil. But again, the stacking might have had something to do with that.
I
Mhm.
pulled them out when we were planting and I forgot to water them.
That's our cilantro, just, not that we're on cilantro, but, talking about it, so.
Yeah. Mhm. That looks
This
good.
is day
7,
Seven?
like we
Day
just
7.
took them out this afternoon.
just came out of germination this afternoon, so.
Okay.
Because we plant on Friday, take it
Mhm.
out of germination on Friday,
Mhm.
and then it grows another 10 days.
Yep.
Under lights.
Mhm.
Where's this look that good?
Ours aren't ready yet. to-
And them seeds are from
Truly.
True Leaf Seeds, so, yeah.
True Leaf. So you get cilantro from True Leaf. And where do you get your basil? Did you say Johnny's?
Basil's Johnny's.
Have you?
Yes.
But you haven't. I know we talked about this last night. And I'm sorry, I don't remember. Did you say you just haven't tried True Leaf basil?
Three-leaf
They were
basil, yeah, always out of stock when we try to get them.
Oh, okay.
So Johnny's and we tried Greener Harvest and they just weren't good. On the basils there.
This one is a week older. That
Yeah,
one's for
this,
Monday's harvest.
this one is for Monday's harvest.
That's beautiful. Look at, that's nice and tall. Wow. Okay. Ours are will tall like that, but then we find that they will sometimes flop.
Flop over.
And then of course they won't come back.
Yeah, they don't come back, but yeah, that's
That's
basically
cool.
almost no seeds on them at all. There's a couple here and there,
Wow.
but the chefs likes them occasionally anyway, so.
Yeah. Do you ever find that this is one thing that was weird for us is that underneath that there are plant cilantro that's like dead or died little plants, and so you've got these
Weeds.
almost like little weeds. Sometimes it's like chunky little section in the in your on your tray. I'm trying to, I know I have one today. Hang on. Oh yeah, here we go. All right. That's what that is. All right. So gosh, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but right in here, it's like all very weedy. It's like a big chunks of
So it's like where they collapsed underneath.
yes, some of them collapse, but not all of them. And so trying to, when I harvest, like I have to
Pick
go
through it.
and yeah, pick through it. And that
All right.
takes forever.
The next grow we're gonna do cilantro, I guess, because
Yes.
we need to help you there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
We can definitely work through that.
Yeah, because it's taken way too long to harvest cilantro.
I will tell you 99% of the time that is overwatering.
Overwatering. Okay.
So that's the water along the edges only kind of days.
Okay.
But that was usually what happened with mine. I was afraid that they would fall.
Mm-hmm.
So then
Right.
I watered more than I should have because I didn't want them collapsing, because once they fall, they don't want to get back up.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
Yeah.
that's where the
Good.
key of like
done.
going along the edges and just kind of touching up where I need to, but not letting it get too heavy.
Okay.
What's your density at?
What are you seeing at?
30 grams, I think. Wait a minute.
That sounds.
Yeah.
I think it's right.
Yeah, 30 grams. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that should be.
That's what
Yeah,
you
well-
guys do, right?
We will do, I'll see for 10, 17 days. We probably will have to do that after Thanksgiving though. That grow, just time frames, because it'll run right into Thanksgiving if we started it right after this. So,
Sure.
yeah, we'll do that probably the 1st of December. We'll do, and get it done before Christmas time. We'll do a cilantro grow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll do all the hard ones. Arugula, cilantros, basils.
I've been harvesting cilantro earlier today, and we had an issue with a lot of seeds on this grouping, but we know why. But
yeah.
I was pulling my hair out, and I finally I had to just walk away because it was going to get really extra ugly.
Well, welcome in Dan and Jeffrey.
Yeah, sorry, we've been hogging the.
Oh, no, you're fine.
No, you're good. And just to show you guys, since you're just arriving, this is our arugula. That was blacked out one, so that's the reason why it's a little yellow still. Hasn't got as much light.
Overseeded corner.
Overseeded corner.
Yeah.
And then this is the non-blacked out one. So a little shorter, but it will make itself up. It really will. We'll see at the end who wins in yield. So that's them.
Yeah.
What does Dan say over here?
Dan says, is mung bean or whatever they call them, Chinese food, worth growing? Had a restaurant that said they may be interested if I can grow 8 pounds a week. So mung beans are
This is usually sprouts.
yeah.
Usually we're wanting sprouts on that.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different classification, and then you get into health department with them because the home wet, warm water, all that stuff. So my opinion, we stay away from sprouts. That's usually why we do microgreens, because it's safer. So
a lot of Asian restaurants use bean sprouts, but they buy them in bulk for cheap. So they're not gonna pay a lot and it's a whole other process. So it's probably not the best route unless you can certify a kitchen and have a really good relationship with your health department. Lemon basil is delicious. I haven't tried to grow it
Probably
for
about the same. Right?
this. Similar
Maybe.
process, I would think.
I mean, we'll look at doing a lemon basil, maybe.
Mhm.
Do that. I was thinking of doing maybe cilantro and basil together in December grow, just to let you guys know if that's something you'd be interested in, because basil is going to have to go with something else anyway. And cilantro is a little bit longer grow too, so it kind of won't stretch it out too much. Be right there.
Cilantro's in germination for a week. So
Yeah. So there's not much going on with that for that week, so it's just sitting there. So
Jeffrey's growing lemon basil right now.
nice, yeah,
Yum.
nice. I know Jeff signed up, but I didn't know if you guys seen the message in the group too. We're gonna be doing some one-on-ones that everybody's going to get. We're gonna be treating everything as like it's day one, like you just joined this group, so you're gonna get a 30-minute one-on-one and kind of set, where your business is going. And then we'll do a 3-month review, a 6-month review, a 1-year review, and then every 6 months going forward, we'll get together and go over a sheet and kind of plan out your business and help you out on the business side. We're doing growing side here, but that's like more of the business side and where you want to take your business and what we can do to help you. So they're available to book. They're in the they're the pinned comment at the top of the group for anybody that's interested in that.
Just saw that when we were logging in, so good.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just talking that we needed to get together with you guys, so that works.
What is the issue with growing arugula? I haven't had any issues. You are very fortunate, sir.
Yes. Typically, the issue is it's either bad seeds or bad soil with that, and overwatering really is the biggest things with arugula.
Okay.
So if you can get good soil, you get good seeds, and then you just don't overwater it, typically it's going to be good. But every crop has its issues, so we're just going over all the little things that have issues with these crops and helping people as long as they're growing, like Bill and Cindy has their grow, and they're showing us so we can help them with any tips or tricks to help their grow a little bit better.
Arugula is as easy as radish. It is unless you're trying to grow the wrong arugula.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have definitely gotten some seeds that do not participate
Mm-hmm.
at all.
I didn't know if I could just come off mute. Or,
Yep.
yeah, I don't know if it's because where I live, because I know different people living in different locations have different effects on their crops that they're growing. But
Yeah.
I have not, and I know I've talked to other people in the past that have had issues. I know Austin, who lives up in Oklahoma, he has issues growing arugula. That's why I'm trying to understand what it is, because I want to avoid whatever that problem is.
Typically it's overwatering. Most likely it's overwatering, but again, it could be environment. Your lighting could be wrong. Your shelf distance could be wrong. Shelves could be underwater things. Your humidity could be wrong. Just like with everything, So
I definitely could see overwatering, because sometimes I have had some crop that is really wet, or so. All right.
Yep.
And if you accidentally harvest arugula wet, it's slimy. It's not just moist, it's slimy.
Yes, Dan, over germination or
Over germinating times, yeah.
well, overseeding, like with arugula, like you guys can see this side is really, really good, right? That's good. This, I accidentally overseeded this corner here. So you can see how, because it's so dense, it didn't grow as well as tall. And I think a lot of people think more seeds better, but that's not always the case. It's the right amount of seeds. Because I didn't mean to mess up, but I'm glad I did. Because I can just show you what overseeding does to a crop.
See, I
that's
didn't
that
know
corner.
That's great.
Yeah. And you'll notice as they grow, the cotyledons will not get as big. You'll have much smaller cotyledons. They'll grow shorter. And then the seeds stick a little bit more. You can kind of see some seeds sticking because they were just too close.
Yep.
And then
they're dirt, and it pulls up more of the soil too with it.
So, and I'm glad you're saying that, because I took little plastic pumpkins and grew them for Halloween with arugula in the top. and that was happening. All the seeds were sticking, and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" So,
Yeah.
Might have been too much.
yep.
And just leaving it like over germination, like I'm assuming Dan's probably talking about time. Because we only keep these in germination for 2 days. They look like they could probably stay another day, but that's when you're gonna get all the issues with the disease and the heat and everything else, and it's gonna kill it off because arugula is a cold weather crop and in general. So you don't want to keep it in the heat as little as possible. So that germination time, you got all that heat in there. So we try to get it out as soon as possible. 2 days is plenty for it, and you're good to go. So we don't do it a full 3 days when germinating. You never know which way to turn. Backwards.
It's backwards.
And I put my arugula under weight, and
Yeah, we do it 2 days weighted.
okay.
And then if you want to black out, like we did one blackout, one non-blackout, we typically don't black out anymore. But you can, and you can just get it a little bit further ahead. But we're going to see which one ends up because we've never done them side by side like this. So we're going to see which one does better in yields as well when we get to the end. So it's not needed to black out, but you can black it out for 1 day. No longer than that, you're going to create problems if you do. So
If I forgot to pull them, yeah, they would start falling over. They get too lanky.
Sometimes I do black them out, and don't ask me why. I go between the two. But it works. Like arugula is one of those ones that you could do either or, which is great.
yeah. It's a personal preference, but we try to simplify the processes as much as possible. So we try not to black anything out unless it's absolutely 100% needed. Yeah, because everything, keep it simple, silly.
Yeah.
And
Going on it, that lemon basil is absolutely it's great. It tastes great. I love it. I grow both basil and lemon basil, and it's really good.
I bet it smells amazing.
It does, and tastes amazing.
Awesome. Could have all sorts of fun. Just have a whole basil zone. Just all the basils.
All the basils. Just a shelf down there again. Basil.
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at that and I'm like, that is a lot of work on that rack right behind you.
Well, that's just the one, man.
I know.
That's the one shelf. Like there's five.
Yeah.
Five of them times that. So yeah.
Well, what's interesting to see is I didn't know you weighted them on the racks. Like I put mine on the floor. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, so these racks right here are the germination racks, and then you pick them up and you put them onto the shelves for the lights. So it's just all right there.
That's great.
And it's nice with the ones that can stack 6 high, if they can. These 2 stacks cover that 3 shelves. These 2 stacks are those 3 shelves.
Yeah.
So it all maps out to where whatever's at this level goes on that level, whatever on this level goes on that level. Each level.
Mike, you lucked out with you lucked out. You got the real smart one right there.
That's the only reason why we're where we're at. Sure. I come up with the crazy stuff and she makes it happen.
It's fun.
It's teamwork. But yeah, so that's the way it's designed and everything else. And then we're gonna mess it up because we're gonna put racks right where we're standing. So go in the other direction. So yeah. Because crazy like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
But this is over time figuring this out. We did have the germination racks like here, so you didn't have to take them over, and it just makes more sense to have them right next to the growing. Makes it simpler and easier.
I don't know much about your operation. Is it just you two doing this, or do you have?
We have 2 employees that work about $25 each. They're both of them are our sons, but
I gotcha.
2 of our sons.
Yeah.
25 is a loose term for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boys are fun. The youngest is in college, so we work around his college schedule and exam schedules a lot. Number 2 is a middle child. Yeah.
Now,
wait a minute, I'm a middle child. What are you saying?
You know,
She's kind of a middle child too, so
I'm a semi-middle child.
there's 6 of them in her family, so, and she's the 3rd. So
Okay.
that's a middle child,
Mhm.
because the other ones are twins,
Ah,
and then another one, so she really is the middle child, because there were just one, right?
yeah.
Ooh, they would kill you for that.
Hey, hey, the Rooney's there. You guys got to get ready because you're going to be flying out to Houston in the spring.
What?
So that Sydney can do the restaurants for you?
Yeah, that's right. You're coming out in the spring.
Yeah.
Hey, I just filmed a new video, a VSL for the Microgreens business coaching page, about page. And I talk about you on there, Sydney, about how well you've done in getting restaurants and stuff, so.
Aw, well, thank you.
Yes.
It's rock and
Yeah,
roll.
it's-
She's at 10 so far.
Yep,
Yeah.
double digits.
Woo!
I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. I will pay for the plane tickets. Come on.
So get your clipboard over here.
That's
Yep.
right.
I'm gonna have you go around with my wife, and because she would do like you. She's good with people, and we just need that little guidance there.
It really is about building those relationships, I have found. And I think me being a woman helps me because they're mostly men chefs. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you a story real quick.
All
Real
right.
quick. I've been a supervisor and I worked in nuclear plants. So, and I was a contractor. And when we used to go to these plants, we'd have to go around and gather tools. In the employees, they never treated contractors real good.
Mhm.
They were always kind of mean to us and all that. So we'd have to go gather tools and whatnot and walk around. And anytime I sent a guy to get them, oh, they don't have this, they don't have that. So I had this one woman, Tina, she was awesome. And so one day I said, you know what? I said, Tina, I need you to go get this, this, and this. She came back with like triple of everything. And I was like, that's it. And from that day on, I never used another guy to get anything because
Yep.
most of the guys worked in nuclear. So that was,
Mhm. I'm telling you, yep. Hang on, I gotta get grab something to show you guys.
Yeah, she's been following what Mike and Jess told her to do.
yeah.
To get in there but yeah, she's always had that ability just to build relationships quickly. So
Got to make sure she's fearless. Just be fearless.
Well, Jessica, I could hear that in your voice.
what you get?
Here's
Oh,
a quick funny story. So yesterday, I was able to catch up with the executive chef over I think they have 7 restaurants in Richmond. I don't think they all will use microgreens, but several of them will. And so I was, giving the samples, we were talking, and he was showing me pictures of things that he's done with the microgreens. And he said something about pink peppercorns. And I'm like, I have never heard of pink peppercorns. Now, Mike, you probably have, but so he opened up the little container and that they use and let me pick one out with no gloves on.
Oh, yeah.
I walk in those restaurants now. I'm like, oh my gosh, you people don't have gloves on. But I did it. They were really actually good. They're not too strong. So he
Gave you the whole thing?
the whole thing.
Wow.
Dude, yeah. He's like, we got some here. You just take this. I'm like,
well, he's
cool,
like, you
thank
brought
He
him
brought-
samples,
yeah,
so he's giving you
So
one.
yeah,
Right?
reciprocity.
Reciprocity, yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean,
Acceptable.
but let me tell you what, if that were Bill, he would not have peppercorns.
No,
No way.
definitely not.
Mhm.
I went with soup the other day.
Yeah, we left with soup one day. She's like, ooh, I made extra soup here.
Yeah.
Hey, there's our dishwasher right there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, this
our tray,
Oh,
our
this
tray
is-
washer.
This is
Free
Katie, our
Labor.
second child, first daughter.
She's one of the most important people of your business then.
You are
yes,
right.
She is. I better be, yeah.
Look at all the trays that they got compared to that. That's a lot
Yeah.
more.
You would have to pay me more.
Yeah,
Wait, you
Hey,
paid
per
them?
tray. You got to set a per tray price now.
Yeah.
No.
So they-
No,
I like that idea.
No.
I'm gonna count that now. Thanks, Dad.
She's got to go.
Going somewhere, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking about
I pay my dishwashers hourly, so
Or more the next morning? That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But they do know once they're paid, they got to do what you tell them, right? You know,
He does a good job.
I don't, that's what
Yeah.
well, I don't pay my, I just tell them you're doing this.
Yeah, that only works till they're so old.
Yeah.
It doesn't work when you're not in the house anymore either. You know, just they
Right?
just don't come in.
Yeah.
But I actually pay them just to, you know, if I schedule them 8 hours. If they show up on time and they get all their work done,
Hey,
I
I
pay
lo-
them for 8 hours. If they get it done in 6 hours, I'll pay you 8.
Mhm.
I don't want them lazying around and kind of milking the clocks or anything like that. I want them to get their stuff done.
Right.
That's funny though that you say if they show up on time.
Yep.
Oh,
If they show up on time. They're like, I was only 10 minutes late. That's not on time. You don't get paid for it all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I purposely try to make sure I send them home early on them days.
Yeah.
Got to teach them, right? Teach
right.
them.
You do?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Have you had green peppercorns?
Yeah.
No.
No, they have green.
Hmm.
The only way I know that is because I watch so many damn cooking shows.
Oh.
Not from personal knowledge.
that's funny.
Thanks.
Mm.
Well, any other questions on growing arugula or anything? I want to make sure you guys get all that. Whatever you need in. Oh, yeah, she needs the water.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna water these. I'm gonna zoom in the camera.
Oh, boy.
Hopefully.
You use all shallow trays for arugula, right?
Yeah, almost all of our stuff we do. Can you guys hear her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Four can.
Just enough to where it fits the entire bottom, but not any more than that. These guys are still pretty heavy. Roots are still moist. They're not turning white. If they start turning white, that means they're really dry, or if they start sticking to the tray below it, they're too dry. Just what? Wait for the water to come back. See if you need to add more. Super easy.
Super easy, she says.
Yes. You do it a few hundred times every day.
Right, I know. But who would have thought watering would be such a craft?
Yeah.
I feel that's where it all gets messed up, is watering.
Mhm. Yeah.
True.
You want me to fix it?
Mm.
You're tall.
There we go. You got it.
You got
That's
it.
good. Any comments, questions on it, or? I can't sell. We can work on that, Dan. Book a call.
Board.
Book a call. We'll talk about it.
Mhm.
We'll teach you the art of the clipboard.
That's right.
If you're going for restaurants.
Yes.
Go for
If
rest.
you're going for grocery stores, you just need a fresh sheet to walk in with and a couple products. So they're all different. Restaurants to grocery stores to home deliveries to whatever other avenues we're going. They're all slightly different in selling. So
Yeah.
Yeah, growing can be the easiest part in realms, but there are some tricky things, some tricky crops that we all got to get down. So that's why we're doing this. But selling is probably the toughest part of this business, especially if you've never done sales before.
Mhm.
Sydney, you've done sales before, or?
I would say a pampered chef consultant for
Oh,
like
okay.
5 years, did really well at it. Mhm.
I believe everybody should do some kind of sales in their life at some point, and like Pamper Chef, Amway, whatever. Do honestly, I broke out of my shell of not talking to people and everything else by selling perfume and cologne on the streets.
Huh.
You know, $20 a bottle going up to restaurants or people on the street and selling it, and late nights and going through it and everything else. And when you got to eat and that's your only income, you learn how to talk to people real fast.
That's true. Yep.
This is the AK NSMD was
Oh,
asking about.
oh.
And you can kind of see the layer really well on this side over here.
This side?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can see the two layers.
That's crazy. Ours don't ever look like that, I don't think. Or maybe I'm not looking at it enough, but
So
that's.
like there's the arugula up underneath here,
uh-huh.
Yeah,
and then the taller ones are the kales.
yeah.
And you do have 50-50 on that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
50-50.
Mhm.
It is a white Russian kale, and I know you said you were using red Russian. The white does get a little bit taller than the red.
Okay,
Yeah, ours isn't quite that tall.
yeah. Let me write that down there.
Flavor profile wise, the white Russian kale is actually even more mild than red.
Okay,
It's very lettuce-like.
okay.
So we like using that one for mixes because it's barely kale-y at all.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I didn't like the red Russian.
You didn't
Either.
like the curly kale.
The curly kale, definitely not. Do not. Ugh, curly kale's horrible. You want a kale taste? Oh, 10 times on that one.
That one gets, ugh, yeah. The chef loves it. It's very springy. It's like a little mushroom. It bounces.
I have the red Russian.
It grows about the same as the white Russian. Really, it just tastes a little different.
White gets a little bit taller,
So
Okay.
not by much.
yeah, not
You
by.
think I'm okay to stick with the red?
Yeah, you can stick with the red.
Okay.
We actually switched to the white because we couldn't get red. And I was like, that's gonna be the closest thing, I think. And we were like hoping for the best at that point. We substituted it with the curly kale once.
The rest of it went out in the yard.
The chickens enjoyed it.
Yep.
Dan uses the red also.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Red is typically where everybody starts, where everybody grows.
That's-
Mostly, that's
That's
probably typical.
OG Curtis Stone suggestion, red Russian kale.
Oh yeah,
That's OG Curtis Stone.
good
Yeah.
old Curtis Stone.
Wow. Yep.
Watched a few of those videos.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Curtis probably got us down this path. We started trying to grow in our yard, doing all that stuff and everything else and all that stuff, and then gets cold and we start growing a little bit of microgreens inside, and then we just took off and everything else. So yeah, Curtis is the reason why.
We've been watching that since, gosh,
8 years probably.
it was probably 05, 06 when he
Yeah.
started his channel.
Yeah.
He was just getting started, like
It's been
growing
8 or 10 years.
his yard and like his neighbor
Yeah.
at the time. It was just like 2 yards that he was doing.
He used to do all his deliveries on his bike.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now he has Teslas. So yeah,
Okay, well, I don't need a Tesla, but you know.
no,
have to-
lives on a mountain.
Mhm.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah, watching his new stuff, like it's totally different
Mhm.
where he's at.
He is, yeah, definitely very different from where he started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was borderline hippie as he started.
But yeah, that's kind of where all the passion came for gardening, and so
Yes.
really,
Time
and
flies.
other people. Joe State said
Joe Salatin, yeah. Joel's.
who's going to be in the government, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Do you guys know Joe Salatin?
Yeah.
Oh,
So he
regenerative
does-
farmer.
Yeah, regenerative farmer.
Oh, okay.
Super duper cool dude. He's been around forever. Does a lot of teaching. I think he's is he the one that did Farm Like a Maniac or something like that is what his new one is. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't watch much stuff anymore, so
You
I'm
don't
too
have,
busy.
Busy making
there's
stuff.
all that free time gone, you know?
Dan talks to him a lot. Going there during the summer. Cool.
Nice.
Good. Yeah.
Well, you
Joel's
may-
awesome.
You may be going there. He might be busy this summer because he's going to be helping out the government. So
Apparently, he posted about that on his Instagram. I was like, nice.
so things may change for that. You might want to check that he's going to be there for that visit.
What do you mean? What do you mean he's helping out the government? What's he doing?
The new administration has contacted him to come and help with some ag in the ag area. Like, what is it?
So he is supposed to be an advisor to his cabinet.
Advisor to his cabinet.
Wow.
Wow.
So
So
they're actually using real people that have done stuff in their life and not bureaucrats. So
Mm.
not to be political, I just love Joe Staten. So like, yeah, he's awesome. And people that actually know what they're talking about. So,
Right. That makes
maybe
it-
we'll eat real food someday here in America.
That'd be nice. That would be nice. Yeah. All right. Well, we
Besides
jump
microgreens.
we have to jump off.
Okay,
So thank you
Cool.
very much.
Yep.
And we'll
Yep.
get
Thanks for being
all
here.
scheduled with you guys very
Yeah.
soon.
Awesome.
all right.
Yes, we'll see you.
Hey, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, Dan, Jeff, what do we got? Anything else?
Oh, I thought you were jumping off.
No, they were, I was scheduled to be here till 8 o'clock, so unless you guys ain't got anything, I'll jump off.
No, you guys are busy. Go right ahead and jump off. I appreciate the time.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Oh, you too,
You
Jeff.
too.
And you as well, Dan, unless you got anything. If not, just let me know.
Someone that'll fly in this farm.
Yeah. All right. All right, we will see. We'll be back here tomorrow night. If you got anything then, or if not, book a meeting. We'll see you on there.
Have a good night.
See you, Dan.
See you, Dan.